What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the program. Welcome back to the show. Today we have همایون Shajarian, of course, the son of the late Mohammad Reza Shajarian. همایون Shajarian is a Persian classical crossover vocalist and artist, tombak player, born in 1975, and his vocals are really incredible. I'm learning more and more as I go and explore different music from around the world, as we find new music and exploring new avenues of artistry, singing styles. Like specifically, the latest one I learned was of tahrir, which is that sort of raising and lowering of the voice in that sort of, it's difficult to describe, but it's almost like a pulsating vocal, which rises and falls within very, very quick instrument. Like the vocalization is just really interesting to me. So let's just listen to this. This is relatively short. Everybody who's sent me requests, reactions, if I don't get to yours right away, I do apologize. I do my best, but it is difficult to keep track. I'm getting so many direct messages with requests and links, and I really am overwhelmed that I can't keep up with them all. So if I don't do yours right away, apologies, but it just kind of is what it is, unfortunately. So let's have a listen to this. همایون Shajarian, Lobate Ghabapoosh. And then after this video, I'm going to be reacting to part 2 of The Lover's Wind, which I found to be incredibly interesting from a historical perspective and just everything that it encapsulates and the scope of that documentary I found to be incredibly just captivating. So looking forward to part 2 of that. And thank you for all the information and comments you left about that, about Persepolis and Macedonia and Alexander the Great and these different landmarks and archaeological just places that have been preserved. Some of them are in ruin, but nevertheless they're still incredibly just interesting to ponder and wonder at the same time. So let's have a listen to this. همایون Shajarian. Let's see what we're going to get here. I will have my ear out for that tahrir vocal style. Yes. All right, let's go. So it's very interesting. This is a prime example of the human voice being used essentially as an instrument, as the voice of instrumentation. He's really almost doing something revolutionary with his vocal style. It's like the evolution of our vocals and the way that humans are able to express in a vocalization style, and doing something really, really innovative and sort of abstract, even though I know that this is rooted in a traditional style of Persian classical music, and I am by no means an expert, but I do feel the power of it. You can feel like it almost has that quality of feeling like an old, like a historical, like it has some serious historical relevance and reverence. So let's continue. Whoa, get out of here.
زحمت امروز بر دل درویش از آن خوش است که امید رحمت فرداست.
Reverberation of his voice. There's Mohammad Reza Shajarian. incredible. So I'll reiterate that point of using the voice as like an instrument. And you also did get some lyrics in there, which of course, sadly, I wasn't able to understand. Some of you can fill me in down below as to the relevance and the subject matter and the meaning and symbology behind some of those lyrics. I find Farsi to be just such a beautiful language, the spoken word of it, especially when it's sang. I've mentioned before that it's like painting with your voice. It ebbs, the ebbs and flows of it, the ups and downs, the lyrical nature of it, and just the way that it's almost like a flag waving in the wind, and you never know what direction and what power that wind is going to be at. So there's a metaphor for you for today. Homyoun Shajarian. And let me just mention again, like, I'm getting a lot of requests for not just the Shajarian, the elder and the younger, and the polarization between artists sometimes, not between artists I should say, but between the fans of these artists. So I did like that Tohi biography, and of course I wasn't incredibly familiar with this Tohi fellow, and I found out that a lot of people are not fond of this Tohi fellow. Some are, some aren't. So there's polarization of artistic figures. Amir Tatalu is another one where, you'll see many videos covering his music, and he obviously has a lot of fans. And then there's a lot of information out there that I've read that's, it's not good about Tatalu, but at the same time, you have to take everything with a little bit of a grain of salt and look at it. And we'll try to objectively, because if you don't have all of the information, the full scope and picture, sometimes it's hard to make judgments, and that's where I don't want to put my foot in my mouth and throw somebody under the bus when I don't have all of the facts in front of me. And when I'm covering such a plethora of artists and such a wide range of not just countries but genre, sometimes it can be difficult to parse through all of that misinformation that not necessarily is being thrown to me on purpose, but it's just information that I have to verify independently sometimes, and it can be difficult to do that. The Shajarians, man, very interesting again. I did hear that reverberation of his voice, that rising and falling. It's really interesting, and there's something really powerful about it. It's completely strange to my ears because there's no traditional structure when it comes to at least the Western type of music. There's no correlation there. It's entirely its own thing. So it's always a difficult listen, but a wondrous listen, and it's something entirely different. So yeah, we'll see you all soon. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out. Later.